All right, we are going to continue pulling this stator and flywheel off, and then we're going to split this crankcase. So we've got a 22 millimeter nut here on this flywheel. We're going to go ahead and remove that. And I like to hold that secure while I'm pulling that nut off so it's not spinning pieces inside there. And then I like to take that nut out, or that washer out as well, so it's not holding us up when we're pulling this. More than likely it's not going to, but you don't want to damage the threads on that crank if you can help it. This crankshaft is tapered, which is why you have to have a puller to pull this flywheel. And the puller you can actually get at a lot of hardware stores or auto stores. There's a smaller washer down in here that's actually clear down in there. We'll go ahead and leave that one. We're going to grab this puller here. You take and grab this piece, run this through, and then you can take washers and bolts, run down here. A lot of times what I'll do is take this nut. This is a really deep nut here, so I'm not sure this is going to work as well as that'll work. Now I'd put that on there just to kind of protect the threads on the crank, so if this flywheel puller slips around a little bit, it doesn't damage those threads, or if it does, we can still at least get that kind of cleaned up with that nut there. Make sure these little bolts here are in as far as they need to be. Spin these down a ways, but you don't want these pulling up, and since there's such small threads on here, I'm gonna make sure that they're plenty far down there. And make sure you're going straight up, so if you need to tighten another bolt down, make sure you do that before you start putting a lot of pressure on it. And then again, you have your nut on there, so it won't go up too terrible far, but you want to make sure that you hear it pop and break free before you loosen it up. Now I do then is take and slam on it one time, that pops that flywheel off. Now if it's loose, you know it's free. So what we'll do then is take these out. Scoot it over so you can see a little bit better. So I just took and popped on the end of this with a hammer here, and that kind of forced it off of there. Sometimes you got to put quite a bit of pressure on those bolts for them to come loose. Alright, and then we're finished with that flywheel puller. We can remove this nut here, and then this flywheel just pull right off there. It is got magnets on the back side, so it can be a little bit of a challenge to come off there, but it will come off. Now we've got, looks like 3 Phillips screws to remove to pull this stator. The stator looks like it's in really good condition. Change the bit on this impact driver. These are really small Phillips. A lot of times you can get those loose by just tapping on with the screwdriver, but for whatever reason they're not coming loose here. And you don't want to round these off. There we go. That's all set there. You can replace these individually. I think from Suzuki, you can buy it either way. A lot of aftermarket companies, Rick's is what I use a lot of the times. You'll buy it as an assembly like it looks here. That just pops off of there. So that is your stator there. You've got your set of wires there. You've got a wire here that goes to a sensor. Stator's off. So we've got a handful of Phillips bolts down in